What happens when family love turns into a fight for power? Why did the Ambani brothers' fight get so intense that even India's finance minister had to step in? And how did their father, Dhirubhai Ambani, rise from nothing to build an empire? Born on December 28, 1932, in the small village of Chorwad, Gujarat, Dhirubhai was the son of a school teacher, Hirachand Ambani, and a homemaker, Jamunaben. At a young age, Dhirubhai Ambani was not like the other children around him. He had a natural ability to lead and was not afraid to stand up for what he believed in. In fact, he became an active participant in protest against the Nawab of Junagadh, fighting not just for himself but for justice and social change. Those early movements shaped him, giving him courage and determination that would stay with him throughout his life. But life was not easy for him. Due to financial struggles at home, Dhirubhai had to leave school after completing his 10th grade. Rather than giving up, he found a way to help his family by selling fruits on the streets. As he bargained with customers and worked hard to make each sale, Dhirubhai unknowingly learned key business skills, negotiation, persistence, and the effort needed to succeed. At just 16 years old, Dhirubhai made a big decision. In 1948, with the support of his older brother Ramnik Lal, he left Gujarat and moved to Amman. There, he worked at a petrol pump and earned only 300 rupees a month. But Dhirubhai was no ordinary worker. He quickly began observing the local traders and learning from them. He also learned Arabic, which set him apart from the other Indians in the Middle East. One day, while talking to local traders, Dhirubhai saw a great business opportunity in exporting Indian spices like ginger, cardamom, and turmeric to Amman and the rest of Middle East. This was the start of his journey into the world of business. Coming from a poor family background, Dhirubhai had a very strange habit. Instead of drinking tea from the street vendors, he would walk into the fancy 5-star hotels and spend on it. But it was not the tea he cared about. It was the chance to meet successful people. These hotels were full of successful businessmen, and Dhirubhai wanted to learn from them. While he quietly sipped his tea, he would listen carefully to their discussions on business, strategy, and how they made decisions. At 23, Dhirubhai married Kokilaben, a 21-year-old from Jamnagar. A few years later, their first child, Mukesh Ambani, was born in Amman. As his family grew, so did his dreams. Dhirubhai left his job at petrol pump and moved back to India, aiming to follow his dreams. He settled in Mumbai, understanding that it was the hub of business and trade, a perfect place to launch his future ventures. Dhirubhai then partnered with Champak Lal to start a venture called Majin. Their goal was to import polyester yarn and export spices to Amman. With just 15,000 rupees, they founded Reliance Commercial Corporation in a tiny 350 square foot room in the Masjid Bandar area of Mumbai. The room only had a table, chairs, and telephone, but that didn't stop them. Even with limited resources, they were determined to make it work, laying the foundation for something much bigger in future. As the business started growing, tensions arose between Dhirubhai and Champak Lal. While Champak Lal was more careful and preferred making smaller, safer profits, Dhirubhai had much bigger dreams. He wanted to take risk and expand the business far beyond its current limits, which led to a clash between their different visions for the future. Dhirubhai's ambition was pushing him to dream bigger, but Champak Lal was more focused on playing it safe. This difference in their approach eventually made Dhirubhai to part way with Champak Lal and take full control of the business. This moment was crucial for Dhirubhai as it set him on the path to build Reliance Industries into one of the biggest companies in India. By stepping away from Champak Lal's more cautious approach, Dhirubhai was free to follow his own vision. Not long after, in 1973, Dhirubhai rebranded the company as Reliance Industries and made his first big move into the textile industry. This decision marked the beginning of a new chapter, setting the stage for the company's rapid growth and success. Dhirubhai Ambani's big break came when the Indian government said there was a growing demand for cotton clothes in African countries and offered rewards to traders who could export textiles. Seeing an opportunity, Dhirubhai decided to shift his focus from spices to selling different types of yarns like cotton and nylon and started targeting markets in African countries. Dhirubhai Ambani had a remarkable ability to see opportunities while others saw roadblocks. It all began when the Indian government introduced an export-import rule. If you wanted to bring goods into India, you first had to export an equal value of goods. Most traders saw this as a hassle, a complex requirement that would slow them down. But Dhirubhai, he saw it as a chance to build something big. Instead of looking at it as a burden, he recognized that by exporting goods, he could earn something called import credits. These credits would allow him to bring in more valuable goods. But what would he import? While everyone was focused on cotton, Dhirubhai noticed a new trend emerging globally. Synthetic fibers like nylon and polyester were becoming popular because they were cheaper, stronger, and lasted longer than cotton. And at that time, they were not widely available in India. So, Dhirubhai made his move. He exported products, earned the import credits, and used those credits to bring in synthetic fibers, nylon, polyester, and other materials that the market was starting to crave. But here is where his genius really showed. He didn't just import and store them. He imported them at a low cost and then sold them in India at a much higher price. The profits were staggering, sometimes 100% and sometimes 300%. By quickly flipping his capital, turning deals around faster than anyone else, Dhirubhai built a strong foundation for his empire. He didn't just follow the rules, he understood them and used them to his advantage. That's what set him apart. While others were stuck, Dhirubhai was already moving forward, carving out his path to success. As Dhirubhai began trading fabric, he soon realized the risk of depending on imports. To overcome this challenge, in 1966, he took a bold step by building India's first polyester mill in Naroda, Gujarat, and branded it as Vimal. His smart advertising made Vimal a household name, and by now, Reliance turnover had reached Rs 70 crore. In 1977, Dhirubhai launched Reliance's first IPO, attracting 58,000 investors, many of whom became millionaires. As Reliance grew, Dhirubhai expanded into petrochemicals to control raw materials and reduce dependency on imports. He also called his son Mukesh back from Stanford to join the family business and arranged Mukesh's marriage to Nita Ambani. Despite suffering a stroke in 1986, Dhirubhai continued to lead Reliance. He ventured into oil exploration, building the world's largest refinery in Jamnagar. This reduced dependency on imports and gave Reliance greater control over its supply chain. He also ventured into launching Reliance Infocom, revolutionizing India's telecom industry. However, despite all the milestones, Dhirubhai's legacy was soon put to the test after his passing. After Dhirubhai Ambani's death in 2002, he left behind a huge empire worth Rs 28,000 crore. However, because he didn't leave a will, it caused problems in the Ambani family. At first, the brothers seemed to be united, with Anil even saying, "Two bodies, one mind." Mukesh became the chairman and Anil became the managing director. But soon, rumors of disagreement started. Mukesh, being the older son, felt he should be the leader, while Anil believed he had an equal right to lead. The tension grew when brothers started making decisions on their own. Anil announced a power project, while Mukesh changed the family shares in the company, both without consulting the other. 2 years later, Mukesh board decided to put Anil under the overall authority of Mukesh, which Anil felt embarrassing. The situation worsened when Anil refused to sign the financial reports and directors from his company quit in support of him. The conflict got so bad that even India's finance minister had to intervene, urging the brothers to make peace. This was because the fight was threatening the future of Reliance Industries, one of India's largest companies. It was no longer just a family issue. It could harm a company vital to India's economy. The finance minister stepped in to ask the brothers to stop fighting so Reliance could remain stable and continue supporting the country's economy. As the conflict between Mukesh and Anil Ambani continued, their mother Kokilaben stepped in. She realized that the only way to end the fight was to divide the empire. The family came to an agreement. Anil would take control of telecom, power, financial services, and infrastructure, while Mukesh would retain oil and gas, petrochemicals, refining, and manufacturing. To ensure peace, the agreement also included a non-compete clause to prevent the brothers from entering each other's sectors. After the split of Reliance, Anil and Mukesh Ambani took very different paths, leading to contrasting outcomes. Anil quickly became very rich, especially through telecom and power. By 2008, he was worth 45 billion, making him the sixth richest person in the world. But his success didn't last. He borrowed heavily for big projects, and when the 2008 financial crisis hit, things started to go wrong. His power projects faced delays, and he couldn't secure gas, piling up debt. His telecom company, Reliance Communications, also struggled to keep up with 4G technology, leaving him in financial trouble. Mukesh saw an opportunity to help, offering gas to Anil projects, but only if the non-compete agreement was lifted. This allowed Mukesh to enter Anil's sectors, making things even worse for him. Anil's rapid expansion and heavy debt eventually led to bankruptcy, and he had to sell assets to recover. Meanwhile, Mukesh took a more careful approach. Instead of borrowing too much, he focused on growing Reliance's main businesses like oil refining and petrochemicals. His cautious strategy kept Reliance strong and financially stable without relying on debt like Anil. When Mukesh Ambani launched Reliance Jio in 2016, the telecom market in India was dominated by just few big companies. Everyone was skeptical. How could Jio offer free calls and unlimited data? But Mukesh was not thinking short term. He saw the internet as essential as water or electricity and wanted to connect every Indian to it. He made the internet access affordable by offering free data for the first few months, and this decision sparked a revolution. In just months, Jio gained over 100 million users, many of whom had never been online before. Suddenly, millions of Indians were using social media, watching videos, shopping, and learning online, something unimaginable before. Jio didn't just provide the internet, it transformed India's digital landscape. The country's internet usage skyrocketed with Jio leading the way. People used more data than ever before, making India one of the fastest growing internet markets in the world. Mukesh didn't stop there. He expanded Jio's reach with services like Jio Cinema for movies, Jio Mart for shopping, and Jio Money for easy payments, creating a complete digital ecosystem. In just a few years, Jio became India's largest telecom company, revolutionizing how people connect, shop, and live. Mukesh Ambani's vision changed India's digital future and made him a game changer in the industry. Mukesh Ambani's vision was not just about business growth, it was about creating a better future. While leading Reliance, he understood the importance of sustainability. In recent years, he made a powerful shift toward green energy, setting the ambitious goal of making Reliance carbon neutral by 2035. For Mukesh, it was not just about profits, it was about protecting the planet for future generations. Learning from the past, Mukesh also put in place a succession plan to prevent conflicts like those he had witnessed before. By dividing the leadership among his children, he ensured that Reliance's future would remain strong and peaceful, avoiding past mistakes. In 2022, Mukesh announced this succession plan, showing that his leadership was not just about him, but about building a lasting legacy for future generations. As his father, Dhirubhai Ambani, once said, "Think big, think fast, think ahead. Ideas are no one's monopoly." This wisdom continues to guide Mukesh and his children, ensuring the Ambani family's legacy will last for generations to come.